I don't even know what shape that is now. I've lost the plot. I need counselling. For the very last time, it's dephemerember day again, and number 25. We finally made it. I'll tell you, I was getting a bit worn out at the end. Worn out like a piece of leather. And speaking of leather, and A.T.C is the prompts for today, and bear is my randomly chosen animal. So dephemerember is hosted by Barbara from 49 Dragonflies and Luise from Junk Journal Art. So there's a link to both of those lovely ladies' channels in my video description box. Go and take a look at their fantastic work. It's been an amazing 25 days. Every time I think I've done something nice and good and all the rest of it and thought I was clever, the very next video I watch from someone else makes me feel inadequate, I can tell you. So I'm sort of glad in a way that it's over, and I'm glad that I did it. I've learnt some new techniques and had a lot of fun, had a lot of frustrations away. I think I'm allergic to embossing powder since I've been using it, and it's all over my desk where I've been leaning my arms on my desk. I've been coming out in all this red rash, so there we go. Never mind. I've got some blank A.T.C cards. Is it A.T.C cards? Because A.T.C stands for Artist Trading Cards. Here's my bear. I'm going to do the what's on my desk for this one. So I've had a bit of a tidy up, threw away a lot of little things that should have been put in the bin ages ago, little tiny things I couldn't use, but there's all this stuff still on my desk, and I would like to use some of it. So that's the stencil that I made the other day. I think the toucan's on here somewhere as well. There's bits of cloth, there's punch outs, that's a stencil that I didn't use, I made. Ribbon, there's the toucan. Look at it all, half a flamingo. I've got keys, I've got ribbon, oh my goodness. Lace, bits of fabric, stick-on flowers. How many A.T.Cs do I need to make? A toucan that I didn't use. Alrighty, bits of paper and various cards. So I've got a piece of leather. It's upholstery leather actually, so it's not animal product, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I'll just start off by cutting my bear out of this piece of paper. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this challenge. I certainly have enjoyed meeting, so to speak, new artists, a couple of lovely people from overseas that I didn't know before. Dum-dum. What am I going to do? Let me think about it and come back. Okay, I got a little bit of an idea what I'm going to do, and I've just stuck my bear onto the back of the leather to start with, and I'll put that aside to dry. I think I'll have to use some inks and stains and things. I will go in with, to start with, some gathered twigs. I want a little bit of this forest moss, and I want a little squirt of this one that always gets all over me every time I use it. That is mustard seed. Just going to let that run around. Pop it down onto that paper. That's baked paper, so it's not going to absorb anything, and I can push the other side into the ink. I'm going to just dunk my bear in there so it gets a bit of colour on him. Pop it aside to dry. Okay, so that needs to dry. I don't know why I keep doing that, because I don't like it when I do it, so why do I keep doing it? I want something brighter. I've got this gorgeous purple. This is acrylic ink. Just going to spray some water on that. Let it run off. Dip the other side in. I should do more than one of these cards, I guess. That looks nice. Okay, need to dry that. I'm changing my mind again. I've pulled my bear off my piece of leather, and that's what the bear looks like if he's made of leather. You probably can't see that there. Like that. But then I also cut one. I don't know which one to use. I have to put my thinking cap up again. That really hurts. I think I need to just forget about the bear for a minute and decorate my card with my berry things standing over there. Do I want to use crackle paste or gesso? I think gesso, because crackle paste takes too long to dry. You can't force it dry. Doesn't work if you do that. This is the stencil that I made the other day for the handmade stencil prompt. It worked quite well, but it's fairly thick because it's 400 gram Yupo paper. And for those who don't know what Yupo paper is, it's a non-bleeding paper generally used with alcohol inks. So it has a plastic quality about it, and it's very thick, and that's what happens when you try and push paint and things through it. Because it's so thick, it doesn't come through cleanly, but it still creates an interesting effect. That needs to be dried. The gesso's dry on that side, sort of. Dry enough for me to work on the other side. And I've got some blank card showing there, which I want to get rid of. And I've just had an idea about the bear aspect of this. I'm not going to tell you in case I change my mind again. So I want to cover up that blank area. So I've got this mica spray. I know this is something that you should be putting on at the end, but I like the colour of this one. It's called Decade. Not Decade, Decade. So I'm just going to put some there and paint it on. I just want to control where it goes a bit better than if I spray it on, so I'm just going to put it over these white bits of card. What's the other side look like? Okay, so I'm going to use the rest of that to put over my gesso. Okay, it's dry both sides now. I'll keep that there. And I want my little punch. And I'm going to punch holes in this, if it'll go through. And it will. No, don't like the way that works. I'm not putting that in there. It's gone. Alright, back to square one and my original bear. Not getting very far. A bit of that and a bit of that. Maybe a bit of that. That needs to be a different colour. Didn't like that colour. Let's go purple. I've got this one called Fortune Teller. Okay, that can stay there. The bear. I'm going to emboss him. Clear gloss regular, that's it. Now, I saw Jen from Jen's Arty Inclinations do this awesome trick today, or yesterday, whenever, can't remember. One day rolls into the next, can't remember which day out of the week it is, where she stuck the thing that she was embossing onto a piece of stick like this, so she could, it was only a small thing, so she didn't have to burn her fingers. I'm going to do that, so thanks for that good idea, Jen. She has some awesome ideas. I'll really get some of that on there. Tap it off. I'm going to heat it. And that's what he looks like now. So I'm going to put some more on him. It's so fine, it's like caster sugar, this one. I'll show you it changing. I love watching this. Just pop that over there so I don't blow it everywhere. Whoops. There we go. That's awesome. I could watch that all day. I think this side is better. I want to put some of this here. It's mica spray, but it doesn't seem to be very shiny. It's mixing with the purple. Looks really pretty. I'm going to run that through there. So it picks up a little bit of that. Guess what? Got to dry again, don't I? Okay, I've got the things that I'm going to use on here. That other bear that I cut out, I drew and cut out, I've stained that with ground espresso. I sprayed it and then sprayed some water onto it. So he's there, and I'm going to make a little montage with him on one side. And I've got a piece of leather here. I'm not sure where that's going yet, but anyway, it's there. I've got a little bit of this lace. I want to fit that in there somewhere. Maybe sticking out from the leather, perhaps. I've got a piece of that coffee tea bag string paper here. So that's going to go there. That'll go there. So that'll be a little cluster. Now my bear, he's got a piece of the paper to sit on. He's going there, and he's going to have one of these in front of him. And I'm just trying to decide which side he looks better on. This one, because there's more white. Should that be in front or in back? Sort of looks like he's coming out of the forest. Maybe I don't need that in there. Or a smaller piece down the bottom there. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Okay, I'm going to glue it down before I change my mind. Ooh. I actually like that side better. I'm going to put it around that way. The bear goes on next anyway, so I can give that some more thought while I'm gluing the bear down. There's the bear. And so all that mica spray and gold and everything is going to be going away underneath. Okay, on this side we've got this brown bear. No, I'm going to put that on here as well. It's Looking really foresty then. I'm going to use Mod Podge. I feel like I've wasted my time embossing the bear now, but I might emboss the other one instead. So there's a bear in there. I'm going to put that aside to dry, and I'm going to emboss. And I'm going to do him with this golden colour. Ooh, hot. Oh yeah, just poured all that stuff off his head, picking it up too soon. Just re-emboss that bit of his head. Should be enough on this paper to fill in that gap. That'll do. Oh, he's got a little bit of a bald spot, but that's okay. So I have my bear on the back there. That needs to be dried. A little bit sticky, but it's fine. So I want to work on this side. So there's my bear. Now he doesn't stand out from that. Can't win. Just cannot win. What shall I do? Maybe some turquoise, because that's Barbara's favourite colour. I don't know what Luise's is. I know she likes forest moss. This is the well embossed bear. So this one is actually an embossing glaze. So that obviously must be different to embossing powder. Why did I do that on there? Okay, that's a bit different. Be careful how I pick it up so I don't wreck it. He's not very turquoise, but more turquoise than he was, and he's standing out now. Okay, so we've got Barbara's favourite colour there. Let's put some of Luise's favourite colour on as well. So that's the forest green, forest moss I should say. Roll around on the card. I'm going to dry it. I didn't add any water to it, so it's very dark. Not quite dry either, but that doesn't matter. Now I want to make my little cluster here. Just a bear's going on there. And that can go there, that can go there, that can go there. Is that too big? I think it's too big. Cut it down a bit. I don't even know what shape that is now. I've lost the plot. This is just crazy. This is why I'm glad this challenge is ending. I need counselling. Oh, it can be a tree. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a tree. Of course it is. But I got a bigger one. Make it look more like a tree. I've got a green one, I'll use that. That's sort of green. It's a bit too big, isn't it? How about that? And there he is under the tree. That looks more like a tree. What else is in here? Flowers. Stamps. What about that? It's nice and bright. It doesn't really look like a tree though. Maybe that one. Is it the tree or is it the sun? I think that's just a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut it down and cut it more into a tree shape. Well, A little bit more like a tree. Okay, that's gonna do. I'll put that there. Okay, that's gonna go off the corner of the page. Just get a bit of ink on it. Glue down my tree trunk. Actually, I'll make it look a little bit more like a tree trunk by doing that. Not very much more like a tree trunk, but a little bit more. And my bear's going there. Okay, so we need to put that little bit of lace in there somewhere, so I'll stick that onto the tree trunk. So that's a flower that's grown in front of the tree. Trim off that. And just need something around the edge. Dare I use this again? I've got a purple one, the same paint. I've got another one called, oh, it's a goldy colour, it's called Unicorn's Hair. Distressed paint, peeled paint. Let's see what this looks like around the edge. Just going to go around the edge of that tree. I'll just paint those, a couple of those branches with some green. And I'll just put my finger in the paint. Bit on the edge, and I still think it needs to have something shiny. So I'm just going to drop some ink onto the card, white ink, a little mix with that colour anyway, so you won't see it as white anyway, you'll see it as a purpley colour. So that's what I've got on one side. And there's a bear in behind there, and then on this side I've got this other bear. He's barely there, bear. I just can't stop fiddling. Just keep fiddling until I stop it up. Get off me. I feel like this is absolute crap. Excuse my French, but I don't like it at all. That side's not too bad. I'm going to drop some peacock feathers onto it, so you know what the old saying is, in for a penny, in for a pound. And I'll probably just put it all over my clothes. Yeah, I'm leaving it as this. So that's one side. That's my leather. There's my bear. And on the other side there's another bear in behind those trees. And my bear's not sticking very well, because I keep hitting him up and he keeps popping off his little things. Anyway, he needs to find a home in my journal. That he's too wet. Well, you know, I was really unhappy with the back of that card, so I pulled off as much of it as I could and stuck another A.T.C, blank A.T.C on it. I've put my leathers just a little tab, and I've just used some Tim Holtz snarky text. I'd like to announce I have no idea what I'm doing. I dug out some rub-on letters and I used as many as I could. I had a broken E, so I put dephemerember, and I didn't have another E, so that got a star. Day 25, and this is my happy place. So that's my A.T.C for day 25. It's yet to find a home in my journal. And here's my completed A.T.C. I've added an eyelet to the little leather tag, put a piece of string through it, and just popped it into my journal. So thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this series as much as I have. Today's was a little bit hard on the brain. I think I just run out of oomph. I'm too pooped to pop anymore. So we'll see you next year for Junk Journal January. And yeah, take care everybody. Have a wonderful holiday. I'll see you in the new year. Bye for now. Cheers from Australia. Hooroo.